lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, but again, away feels like it's been a freaking decade.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Contracts and Cocktails. We are at Season 2, Episode 4, and we're really excited today to talk about travel. Right, Kelly?
Yeah, and all the fun things that come along with travel.
Traveling to and from
Melbourne,
which is where we live in our beautiful Space Coast. So I was going to talk about a little bit about, I went to Maryland this past week, which Kelly was born in Maryland and lived there for a long time. And I actually was born in Maryland and moved to Indialantic when I was 3. So it was kind of cool to go back there and experience cold weather and change of seasons. And it was just, honestly, it was really, really interesting because it wasn't how I thought it would be. It was, southern Maryland was very rural and country, and there were these really old barns that were kind of falling down. And I was why don't they tear those down? I don't know. Is it historic?
I think some of it's historic and some of it is that it's land that's owned by a family and they just leave it that way. So like
weird.
The town that I'm from in Southern Maryland has not grown at all. You know, things have actually disappeared. Like they used to have a service station with gas, and you can't get gas in the town anymore. You got to go to the next town. So,
and you didn't stay there?
No, I got out of there as soon as I was 18 and moved to a different rural town in Southern Maryland. Thought I was, living high on the hog over there.
Because they had a gas station.
They did. They had a Birch Mart. They had like a
Birch Mart.
It's like a convenience store, like a not a Wawa, but like a Southern Maryland Wawa. But they have Wawas there too. So yeah.
So you were living the big life.
Oh, yes.
And then you got to go to places. And I went to Annapolis, which was amazing. Kelly told me some fun places to go, and Annapolis was cool. And I ate a lot of crab things.
That's what you're supposed to do in Maryland.
Yeah. It was good. I really, really enjoyed it. But what I enjoyed most of all was, so everyone's like, oh, are you going to drive to Orlando? Because you can fly direct from Orlando into like any of the D.C. area, Maryland airports. And I said, hell to the no. I'm not going to Orlando. I go there to see Mickey and for an occasional other thing, but Orlando Airport is
it's hectic. The security lines, especially on the B side, are always awful. It's crowded. Delays. I don't like it.
Super stressful. And I feel like when you leave your house, when you finally get packed and loaded into whatever vehicle you're going into to get to the airport, like that's kind of starting your trip, your vacation, whatever it is. And that airport thing in Orlando is super duper stressful, super awful. I just, just to get like a bottle of water, you're standing in this crazy line. And so we went to Melbourne, took 10 minutes. And walk in, there's nobody there. Yeah. You're the only person at the counter checking in. We went to the security line. There were 3 people there. Walked right in. Our flight left on time. We were on Delta. We love Delta. And left right on time. Yes, you have to change planes. We changed planes in Atlanta, but Delta was amazing. We got off. We had like an hour and a half layover, grabbed something to eat. By the time we walked over to the gate, we were boarding again. So it was super easy. Coming home, amazing. There's one baggage claim. Like literally, which baggage claim am I at? Oh, the only one that's here.
Right. Easy to find.
So it was wonderful. It was packed though. When we left, the airport was really empty. But when we came back, like the whole airport was full. So I think the secret is coming out that, Melbourne Airport's the place to go, and they're building a second terminal.
Right. For all the new, traffic they've got in there, because you can fly from Delta, and American have been there servicing it for a long time. Right. And with American, you can fly to Charlotte, which is their hub, and Delta's to Atlanta. But then American also was offering like a Saturday flight direct into DCA.
Oh, that's cool.
The problem is if you only want to go there, for a couple days, rather than make a whole week trip. So it hasn't really benefited me yet. I still have to fly through Atlanta usually. Yeah. And then Allegiant has 2 flights twice a week, one to Pittsburgh and the other to Nashville. So that'd be a fun weekend getaway to
Kyle
either
did
place.
That. He went to Nashville, and he said it was a great flight, left on time, and he loved flying Allegiant. And I mean, it was super simple. And
the flights are inexpensive.
Oh my gosh, so cheap. I mean, you might have to pay an extra $10 or $20 for your bag, but still, I think the round trip was like $140.
That's amazing. Yeah. Especially if you just want to go for like a quick little getaway to go see Nashville.
I do.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet.
Me either. My daughter's been there, but
maybe that's our Christmas party this year. Let's go to Nashville.
Right. And then TUI, which flies to several destinations in and out from the UK. Yeah. So that's a couple days a week, I think, that they're coming in.
Yeah.
And their website's not super easy to navigate. I found like trying to figure out, all right, what days do they fly in here? So that wasn't super easy. But then Sun Country is going to be having flights from Melbourne Airport direct to Minneapolis, St. Paul. They said like in the winter months. So I think it's kind of like maybe a test route to see how popular it is.
Oh, that's cool.
I guess if you live in Minneapolis, it's really cold there in the winter. So I would be getting on a plane to Melbourne for sure.
Melbourne, go to the beach.
Yeah. Warm up, get the frostbite off.
Yeah. I think it's going to become more and more popular flying into Melbourne. And
they've got that huge expansion they're building. So they're going to have like 4 lanes of security there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And more than one baggage claim potentially. Yeah. So I wonder, American may eventually, I've heard there's like a push to get them to fly to Dallas direct from here.
That would be nice.
Which would be nice that we could go west instead of just,
like
going
up
north.
the eastern seaboard.
Yeah, so that would be really cool. So that's a neat thing. There's a lot of stuff going on in Melbourne. You probably read about it. We put it in our newsletter.
Right.
And when we hear about it, our monthly newsletter, not our weekly. Our weekly is like weekend events, and then we do a monthly where we talk about what's happening on the Space Coast. And again, if you guys want to get on and get our newsletter, I really encourage you to do it. It's fun and has lots of happenings. And you can email us, hello@coastalestateteam.com, and we'll put you on there. But one of the things that's exciting is some new restaurants that we're going to be getting in Viera. I feel like, what's nice is we get some of these chain restaurants, but we also get more private restaurants too with this. But the chains, we're getting Miller's Ale House. So for you guys who like the Ale House, I think that's a fun place and a good sports bar. Yeah. And then what's the other one?
Ford's Garage.
Ford's Garage, which I have a funny story about Ford's Garage because I was driving to Tampa and I didn't know what Ford's Garage was. And there's one right off I-4.
Yep.
And I was talking to my friend on Bluetooth, not on the phone, but I was talking to my friend on Bluetooth and I was like, man, I just passed this garage. I've never seen so many people at I thought it was a garage.
And not a restaurant. Yeah.
I was like, why are all these people at the garage? All these cars getting repaired. Like, that must be a really good garage. She's like, that's a restaurant. I felt stupid, but I didn't know what it was. I think it's kind of like, what is it? Is it like a Chili's or a... Do you know what it is?
I'm not sure. I've never eaten at one. Is it like a burger joint? I don't know. So if you know, tell us. Please fill us in. Yes. Email us.
We're excited to go there and try it out. What else is coming? Oh, there's some new housing stuff, right?
Yeah. And Viera, the Del Webb, you've got some people that are looking over there.
So that today they basically are getting ready to sign their contract. We had our final virtual meeting. They should be opening the actual community, and the models should be finished being built. The models should be done towards the end of December. They're going to do a grand opening in January, but they're already selling the first couple of phases, and they're doing like a pre-sale that started Saturday, I think, for a week, and they're going to sell out, which is amazing considering, people are like, the market's changing, this and that. There's still a need, and the price point, but you got to build your own. They are going to be doing some inventory homes. So they have and they have amazing amenities, and it's 55 plus, but right in the heart of everything, right near Costco.
Yeah.
So it's good for that. So I think that's going to be a great place. And then you were talking about something called Crystal Lagoons. What is that?
So I saw the Melbourne mayor, he posted today about some discussions that they're having to purchase like 58 acres, I think, off of NASA or adjacent to NASA.
Wow.
To build this Crystal Lagoon. So it'd be like a public access, like, place to visit, like, for recreation. So, yeah.
Is it housing too, or is it just...
No, it looks like it's just going to be like the lagoons and then some shops and maybe some restaurants and stuff.
Cool. So that's another shopping area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. And what was that other place, like, out, like, South Palm Bay, or kind of near... Isn't there something called, like, I thought it was called Emerald City a while ago.
I thought so too.
Is that being built or something?
I haven't seen anything about that lately because I've had people inquire, and then there's not a lot of information on the website. But that was being developed by Zone, Zon.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I haven't seen any updates lately.
Yeah.
But then we also have like the Dassault Falcon that announced last week. They're bringing to the airport this huge 175,000 square foot maintenance facility.
Wow.
And it can hold up to 18 of their Falcon jets at one time to do like maintenance and overhauls and stuff like that. So it's also going to be bringing a ton of aviation jobs to the area.
400.
Yeah.
400 jobs and the average salary around 87,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we're continuing to be sort of the hub for aerospace and space, and that's not going to stop. I was reading something that, home prices have been on the decline, not here, but in other areas for like 8 months. And they're saying, by beginning to middle of next year, that's going to go away, we're full on into the swing of it. And I'm like, we're not really seeing home prices decline. Yes, we're seeing lower turnover in terms of sales,
right?
But the home prices have not gone down.
They've still continued to rise over last year, just not at the 22% that we were seeing year over year previously, but still higher than our normal annual increase. So I think last month we were around 13% over for September.
That's crazy.
That's still amazing.
Yeah.
That's a huge return on your investment from year to year. So.
And I think with you seeing these jobs come in and all this new housing and all these new opportunities for people, the airport growing, all these things, we're not going to see in our area. We're not going to see the house price. We still have a huge inventory shortage. When we look for homes for people, it's not like, oh, look, there's 20 choices. That's not happening. Yeah.
One at a time still for the most part. I mean, every now and again, you can find a buyer who might find 2 or 3 to go look at. But in my experience, it's usually like, oh, look, one came on the market. Let's go check that one out.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find anything else that will fit. And then, in a few days, you might have another one pop up. So
it's not a ton of inventory. So it's still a really, really good time to sell. It's a really good time to buy. And I think, our area is just going to continue to be sort of a mecca for people. And we've always been, since I have known it, we've always been sort of underpriced and sort of sleepy, and that's not the case anymore.
Right.
That's not going to happen here. And Florida is still so desirable. I mean, look, if you're in Minneapolis, you don't want to just come visit on Sun Country.
No, you want to move here.
You want to get on that plane and never get off.
Last year that were from Minneapolis.
Did you really?
Yes, and they got to be empty nesters, and I think they can work from anywhere. Why not work from where it is warm and you will not freeze?
Is Minneapolis where Mary Tyler Moore, the show was? Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
Am I dating myself?
No.
I am dating myself.
I mean, I sort of remember that show. I don't remember the name of it, though. Was it just the Mary Tyler Moore show? Or was it a different show she was on?
No, I think it was Mary Tyler Moore. I remember she had like a hat and she threw it up in the air in the beginning.
Okay, that was her show. Yeah, that was
Minneapolis. It was cold in most of the show.
Yeah. I lived there for like 3 days, remember?
Oh, you did? Oh, that's right. You did.
When I worked for Delta. I was like, that will be my home base.
Yeah.
And then I got pneumonia.
That was a good idea.
And I said, this is not going to be my home base. I'm going to go back to Melbourne where it's warm.
I said that when I got off the plane because I was wearing like the heavy coat. And even in Atlanta airport, I was wearing like a coat through the airport. It was cold. And I got off the plane and I'm like, oh, thank goodness I'm home.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, you do get acclimated really quickly. So like if you're not from here and you are from an area where it's cold, your first summer is not going to be fun. It's going to be hot. I'll never forget when Carissa moved in Tampa because she had lived in Maryland for so long. And it was orientation. There was nowhere to sit in that dining hall.
Yeah.
So we were outside at like 8 o'clock in the morning. She's eating her breakfast and she looks at me and she goes, Mom, there is sweat in my butt crack right now. And I'm like, yep, it's hot. And I'm not like breaking a sweat. I've been here for a long time at that point, like 10 years. Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to have to go back to those dorms and change my clothes before we go to the next thing, like after breakfast. And I'm like, you'll get used to it. And now when she goes where it's cold, she was just in Nags Head last week. She was freezing. She's like needing a winter coat, all the things. So you get acclimated pretty quick.
That's so funny. Yeah, you'll sweat a little, but you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just wear less clothes.
It's very detoxifying for your body to sweat. It's good for you.
I love that. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about today?
I think, those are just some of the development that's coming. We have a lot more that, they're still building. Viera Builders still building. D.R. Horton's still building. Holiday, all these builders are still building homes. And some of the other, like
and
custom
Lifestyle
builders.
starting to build again. They're building at the new, I want to call it Aprica, but is that
Aripica?
Aripica?
Yeah, that's
Who thought of that name?
I don't know.
Why was that?
I want to know where those names come from. But yeah.
And starting price there is like $1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million to 1.7.
Right.
And, yes, they're custom and they're trying to.
When I lived in Viera, if you'd have told me that houses were going to sell for $1 million there, I would have laughed at you.
I kept your house when you moved away.
100%, I would have kept it. Yep. Wouldn't have sold it.
Yeah. So, but seriously, the home prices are just still going up. So now is definitely the time.
Yeah, because they're not going to get any cheaper.
No.
And interest rates aren't getting any lower anytime soon. So you might as well do it now.
Yeah. Get off the fence.
Yeah.
Get in the game. Buy yourself a house. Quit renting because rents are going up too. So we just want to mention that. Yeah. So, all right. So I guess that's it for us for today.
See you next week.
See you next time. Cheers.
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.